Hi guys, it's Mark Zickery, Mr. Sci-Fi. Now I'll just get the table going for our simulcast, and then life will be good. So we are back from our wonderful trip in London and Wales, and lots to talk about and tell you about, and you will be amazed by everything, because that is how we roll here. So let me just do this, and then we will do this, and we will be good to go. So hang on just one little sec. And let's see, it's let's see, table meeting. There it is. Okay, great. Hang on. Your patience is much appreciated. There it is. There's the link. 1 minute to go. On Zoom US. There we go. And launch meeting. Okay, here we are. And then join with video. Yay. Oh, these modern technologies. Hold on. Join with computer audio. Hi, guys. Here we are.
A little early with some software walk across the screen. That was my full
You're muted, Mark.
Yes.
I'm not.
Yeah, Dave is not muted, so hold on. Eek! I'm trying to, come on, cut it out. Unmute. No, I know. Here I am. Hi, guys. So we're here with Dave and Adam and Mr. Sci-Fi, and life is just scrumptious. So, Adam, how are you doing?
Good. I've been very busy.
Good. Why don't you take your turn? Why don't we start with you, which is always great.
Sure, I can get this thing started.
That sounds great.
Hi, everyone, and the few people that are watching on Mr. Sci-Fi.
Yay.
That's weird. It usually says who's watching.
Mm-hmm.
But it's showing 0, even though there's people commenting and saying that they're there.
Well,
anyway.
Okay.
But we know there's people watching, so that's good.
Yes, that's good.
And of course, we have Judith and Galinda here and everyone.
Yes.
So
yes.
Hi, I'm Adam Sartain. Most
Puppies.
of you probably know that. I am a voice actor that can do over 78 different voices, accents, and impressions.
Okay.
And I've been busy. Last week, I was not able to attend because we had basically one of our Tech Week rehearsals for a musical that I'm a part of. It's not quite a musical yet. I'll say it's because we're workshop. It's a workshop.
Yes.
Workshopping it.
That's okay.
But it's really cool. It's a really good musical. We're continuing the workshop starting tomorrow.
Great.
With more performances next weekend as well, and then first week of June we're going to be performing in Orange County.
Wow.
At a high school. So much nicer venue coming up in June.
Yes.
And then apparently they're going to take it to Missouri in September.
Great.
That's when they're going to do that.
Cool.
And then yesterday I filmed a commercial that I booked.
Yay! Congratulations.
It was for Outdoor World or Camping World or someplace that sells camping
stuff,
RVs, and that sort of thing.
Great.
So I was the grill master. The grill master dad, that was my title.
Mm-hmm.
I got to wear an apron and all the dad regalia, the polo shirt and the jean shorts and the really long white socks.
Wow, that's great.
It was very good. And I did another episode of 1 Minute History.
Wow.
That should be coming out soon. But my latest one is out now, The Great Purge.
Wow.
So that's a fun one. You can check it out on YouTube. And then, if you haven't heard of my podcast, Inside Animation, no new episodes yet, but, I'm always open to interviewing anyone and everyone in the animation industry, whether you're an animator or a director or anything to do with animation. I'd be happy to interview you on my podcast.
That's great.
And I recommend anyone interested in animation to listen to it because there's some great great stuff on there, including an interview with you, Mark.
Yay!
Yeah. So I think that is it for me.
Good. Well, that's great, and congratulations on all your good news. I mean, you know, it's great. The lovely thing about doing commercials is residuals. Yay!
It's a non-union, so it's a buyout. But
Well,
it's enough money to cover my expenses for a
Yeah,
month.
no,
So,
the check clears. That's the important part. You know.
exactly.
So, did you have any questions or anything else you need?
I don't have any questions, but
Okay.
we do have a question from the chat.
Wow. Okay, go for it.
Okay, we have Hayes494.
Great. Hi.
Who says, if you were writing for any of the current Star Trek shows,
Yeah.
what is one thing you would change?
Well, the one I like best so far, and I haven't watched Prodigy or the other cartoon, but so far, Strange New Worlds has a lot of great possibility. The one thing I would change is it's really important to go deep, deep, deep into what is your emotional truth, and not just say facile stuff like we should all be nice to each other, and goodness is nice or whatever, and I don't mean to give them short shrift. I think they're off to a very good start, but the real great opportunity with Star Trek is to do stories that are profoundly moving and truthful, and unlike anything you've ever seen before. It can be enormously powerful in terms of its effect in the real world. And so I think that's, if I was in charge of it, I would really be, advocating for that. And that's where someone like Ira Bear was such a great showrunner on Deep Space Nine, because when I came up with Far Beyond the Stars, he was the one who said, let's make this risky, let's make this dangerous, let's make this, he didn't say it overtly, but those were based on the decisions he was making. It was very clear that he was really willing to take risks and do something important and do something meaningful. And that was terrific. That was so exciting. So there you have it. So I guess, Judith, you have the puppies with you. So maybe we should take your turn now, because those guys are extremely cute. So why don't we take your turn if you can unmute? But I thought you'd want to see the puppies.
Okay.
Great.
This is Wolf Zikri,
Uh-huh.
and this is Athena Zikri.
Yes. Great. Great.
Oh,
They
wow.
are. It's basically what I've been doing all week. They're sleeping through the night now.
Great.
Wow, that's great.
8% on the potty pad.
Good. That's
They know
better than
their
me.
names. I had
Yeah.
their leashes on them for about 3 hours today.
Wow. That's
They're
great.
very headstrong, and like yours.
Yes.
They're like yours. They scrabble and they wrestle with each other, and then they
That's
get into these.
great.
So but it's very funny. I wake up in the morning and I'm laughing all at them all. I'm exhausted
Uh-huh.
because I'm a new mother, I'm
Uh-huh.
not used to 6 o'clock in the morning. I'd make a great vampire, right? Wouldn't I? But anyway, they went to the vet yesterday, and there's only one thing wrong. They're a little chunky.
Uh-huh.
I said to the vet, well, they have a Jewish mother, what can I tell you?
Uh-huh.
But they are so cute, and as you can see, in 1 week they become very loving and very attached.
Good.
Are they even cute? Are they even cuter in focus?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I suppose.
Well,
Yes.
Our problem is
Not me, but they are. I've got the computer on the coffee table,
Good.
so it's a little out of focus.
Great.
But they are so fun. They really are. They just keep me laughing all day long.
Oh, great. Well, congratulations. That's such good
Thank
news.
you.
Very good.
I'll get back to work. My birthday's on next Wednesday. After that, I get back to work.
Yay. Well,
Yay.
congratulations. It's been such a journey.
Yes.
Thank you. I've been waiting for them for a long. Whoops, careful.
Uh-oh, look
I've
out.
been waiting for them for a long time, as you know.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. But great. Anything else, Judith, for now?
No, but thank you guys so much for your support, and
Mazel
thank you,
tov.
Elaine, for telling me to get 2,
Yes.
because it really helps. Because they can chase each other.
Yes.
I don't have to chase them.
Yeah.
I'm told to
Exactly.
chase.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
ours were going round and round and round this morning. Chasing each other up and down, and it's really fun to watch.
I
It
know.
is. It is.
See, they're so cute, and they're. Oh, I'll have to show you. He's got a heart on his butt.
Oh. Oh.
How cute. How fun. That's great. That's great. So great. Well,
They are so adorable. They're just a joy.
Well, congratulations.
Finally.
Congratulations.
Well,
So
but I
that's
don't know
great.
about that whole message. A heart on the spot. Isn't that a little bit of a kiss my ass thing?
That's pretty funny. So
They're really fun.
yeah.
They're really fun.
So great. Well, 3 cheers. Yay. Excellent.
Look, I'm getting puppy.
Yes.
Nothing like baby milk breath.
No. True. Great. Well, we look forward to meeting them in person.
And Adam,
Yes, me too.
yay. And Adam, I heard everything. Congratulations on everything. I was listening in, but
Yes.
I was cutting up just food for dog food.
Dog food.
Had to-
Yes. Yes,
I had to pop
exactly.
it in the freezer. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So great.
No worries.
So
Yeah.
By the way, I have 2 squares of dog food.
excellent.
Oh well, that's
Excellent.
That's a little old. I think you can pitch it out now.
Yeah,
It's a little
okay.
old.
They've been in
Yeah.
the freezer. I haven't taken them
I'll
out.
probably find them.
Oh, okay.
Well,
All right.
when we come to see your dogs, we can grab
Yeah.
that stuff. So great. So 3 cheers. So Adam, is there another Mr. Sci-Fi question?
Yes, we have another question
Mhm.
from
Great.
the same guy.
Oh, and remember to mute Judith. Yeah.
I got her. Hayes494. Again,
Cool.
new question.
Mhm.
If Russell T. Davies approached you
Mhm.
to write for Doctor Who,
Sure.
would you?
Yes. Though I'd have to play catch up because I haven't watched the recent seasons, so I would have to kind of see what they've been up to and figure out. I mean, the challenge with a show that has like over a 50-year history is there's so many stories and so much mythology, and many of my friends in England, the sci-fi geeks, have watched the show ongoingly since they were little, so they're very much up on the canon. So, but yes, I would absolutely. That's one of the great. In fact, Neil Gaiman some years back recommended me to the show, and so I would have been very open to that. Yes. So thanks. So let's see. So I guess Dave, you're next on my screen if you want to ooze sagacity.
All right. Hi, everyone. Well, it's been it's been a busy week. How strange is that? Here at Space Command Land.
Yes.
Let's see. Been working with David Bartlett, who's
Cool.
been working with our colorist, fellow John, and we've been sending some files back and forth, and so that's coming along.
Mm-hmm.
And what have I been doing? I'm working on. I did the closed captioning for the first hour. I've shifted over now to working on Mark's commentary.
Yeah. I
Oh,
told him we'd use
If
those.
you want to have fun
Great.
Mhm.
and you
Right.
ever get the opportunity to edit a Mark Zekri commentary,
Oh.
jump at the chance.
Yes.
I mean, have lots of liquor available, but just jump at the chance.
Did
Adam
it?
knows because Adam's been editing some, transcribing some of Mark's work.
Mhm.
Anyways, but I'm hearing stories that I hadn't heard before.
Good.
After listening to this commentary.
Good.
So it will be very interesting for you folks. So listen to the commentary.
Great.
You get the DVD.
Huh.
And other than that, just keeping busy. I finally shaved.
Yay.
Yay.
So I'm back to whatever, face such as it is.
It's great.
And something. Oh, and I finally pushed a button to move my redesigned website over to a new host. So
Mhm.
that's launching any day now, and
Great.
daveedison.com will be up with a new and improved, still very basic website, but a new and improved version nonetheless.
Great.
So I will probably not be working during this this table meeting because I'm working with sound. So I can't really do that at the same time, but I'll get back to it when we're done.
Okay,
Anyway,
great.
Who's next?
3 cheers.
Yay.
Yay. Great. So is there another Mr. Sci-Fi question, Adam?
Yes. And I gotta say, the biggest challenge when working on transcriptions that you've done, Mark, is not going to going and watching the things that you're referencing. Because it's just so interesting, the little tidbits and stories.
It's fun.
Like, oh, I want to see it. No, I gotta keep working on this.
Yes, it's fun because again, I've been so lucky that I've worked on so many iconic things and known so many iconic people, and they often have told me stories that are not in print, and they're fascinating. Whether it's Ray Bradbury or Rod Serling or Harlan Ellison or Ted Sturgeon, you name it, and it's really fun. It's really fun. So
I will say this about what I know of Mark. The little trivia. I've since I have these buttons here
mhm,
and I can edit,
mhm.
I've made him say things that he didn't actually say. None of them are untrue. They're in context. He won't object to any of them, but he's a bit of a patchwork here and there.
Yes. By the way, speaking of things that are untrue, an amazing video that you can see on YouTube is when man first landed on the moon. Nixon was given two alternative speeches, one of which was if they crashed and died on the moon. And so using deep fakes, they have actually put together that speech, and it is amazing to watch. So I urge anyone to go check it out because it's just phenomenal. So great. So I guess Galinda,
As
yeah.
if we needed more reason for people not to believe what's actually going on.
Yes,
Right.
yes, exactly. And Dave is doing a great job, as is everyone working on Space Command. I mean, Adam and David Bartlett, and of course, wonderful Elaine, and everyone's just been so great. And we're very soon going to have the red carpet premiere at the Chinese, and that's going to be really fun. So great. So Galinda, I guess you're next on. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, our question.
Oh yes, the question. Sorry,
Yeah.
I got lost.
Sorry. Bruce Moore
Hi, Bruce.
has a question.
Sure.
He says, can you please talk about writing full season story arcs versus one episode stories?
Yes.
For example, how do you prep stories for Space Command versus
Yeah.
a 1 hour spec script?
Yes. If you're writing a spec pilot, you still, like for instance with Sweet Haven, which Rockneil Bannon and I are creating, we laid out the entire season and beyond so that we know where we're going, so you can lay track, you know where you're going. In terms of a series arc, what I like to do, like for instance, Space Command is structured as 2-hour stories that break down the middle into 1-hour episodes, but then they form a larger arcing story over the season, because I have problems with shows that just have arcing stories over the season, because if that story isn't strong, like with Star Trek Discovery or Picard or you name it, then you're just like, why did I spend all those hours? Whereas if you kind of split the difference, then you can get a lot more value out of each individual episode, I think. So what you're looking for is, what's the action story? What's the meaning of the story? What are the character arcs of the story? How do the characters' relationships grow and change? And what's the overall point of the show? And so it's a lot of stuff. But the fun part also is, as you do the show, see, there's two different ways to write a season of a show. One is that you write it all in advance, and then you shoot it. The problem with that is that if your actors are different from what the scripts wanted them to do, you can't course correct because the scripts are written. This is sort of the way they do things in England. What I like is to be able to change things as the show progresses, so that you can be very responsive to what the actors and the characters are doing. So with Space Command, I wrote a lot of the first season before we ever shot any of it, but we're now vastly rewriting a lot of the scripts. In fact, eventually, once we've shot the first season, I'm probably going to put out a book of early drafts of certain scripts, because they're so different, and I think people will really enjoy seeing how they evolved. I think it'll be really fun. So great. So now, Galinda, I guess you're up. Go for it.
Hello, beautiful people. So great to see everybody. I have had, I'm back up at my cousin's house.
Uh-huh.
We got one more chemo to go.
Wow.
And they did her PET scan.
Good.
And she's beating it.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Congratulations. Yay.
It's almost all gone from her lungs.
Great.
There was a metastatic mass that
great.
It's died.
That's great.
So it's like we're in the very final stage of this. It's so, I'm thrilled. I'm so thrilled that this is going this well.
That's great.
So last Thursday, I was just too tired to deal with anything. I was just punching buttons and getting a camera set up and all that. But yeah, really, really thrilling. And well, it looks like I've had a boost in getting to work on my production and my YouTube channel. Because Tuesday morning they called us into a nice big meeting at work and said, "Bye, y'all."
Jesus.
I got 2 weeks. I got there's 2 weeks to pay. I get 6 months of COBRA, and they said something about a severance package, but I don't know if that's separate from what they've already told us we're getting. And wow, at this point, I could reapply. I could apply for other positions within the company, but right now I'm like, do I want to work for these folks now? It's not the only thing that's ever gone awry. It's never going to be 100% agreement with somebody. But, at this point, it's like, I think I'm ready to go on and do other things. If they're going to put me in a position at 58 dang years old to go looking for a new job, I'm going to make something amazing happen. I'm not going to just go back into the same kind of rut that I've been in. And I'm excited. I'm terrified. This is not an age where I expected to be job hunting, but but yeah, I decided to look at it like another adventure. And just go for it.
Good.
I got myself a smartwatch.
Yay.
It buzzes at me if I haven't been off my butt in a while. So,
good.
It's going to get me help me get more active, and it monitors things like blood pressure and stuff that I should probably be paying attention to now. But yeah, I decided, somebody mentioned that I should separate my channel from my production. So as I put my TV show together, I should be prepared for it to be in a separate medium and not just limit it to a YouTube channel. Because that could be similar in a way to committing to a network, at some point. And so if I produce it separately and then use my channel to promote it, then I'm in a better space rather than actually just broadcasting it directly. But on that note, I have a friend of mine who is quite an amazing writer, very prolific, and she also does voices. And her son has been, studying directing, so he's interested in that aspect. So, it's building. It's getting to where when I get back to my mom's, I'm going to be ready to start rolling.
Cool.
Great.
That's great.
That's great.
And one thing, it's interesting, Galinda, that you mentioned, having to find a new job at this stage of your life. When I started as a writer, most people had jobs that they thought would last them a lifetime. So they were working at GE or Xerox or IBM or wherever, and they had that expectation of the pension and all that. And then, of course, as the decades continued and the power of labor unions faltered, and various companies decided to screw their employees and void the pensions and declare bankruptcy and all of that stuff, people were left really in bad straits. Whereas those of us I refer to those of us in the entertainment industry as circus folk. We know that we put on a show, we put up a tent, put on a show, then pull down the tent, move on to the next town. And so we never expect that we're going to be having one employer for very, very long. And the good part about that is that you have a certain set of muscles that allow you to kind of recover very quickly from being from being blindsided. So but all this stuff that you're talking about sounds very exciting, and we're here for you, and anything you need, we're happy to be of help.
It definitely feels better, and I love the way you put that.
Circus
folk, because I wanted to run away and join the Renaissance Fair
years
ago. And at the time, it did not work out for me to be able to do it. I didn't have a van. I didn't have the transportation to be able to go from town to town. And you kind of need that part. To but several years ago, my sister had been trying to prove. Well, before she passed away, she was trying to prove some things in our ancestry to get us into the Mayflower Society. And it's like 2 pieces of paper short. But she got an email from a lady that my Hungarian grandmother's maiden name and her husband's name came up in a list called the Dashwaben for Roma.
Wow.
And I'm over here going, we're what? we're like, when I'm ready to put on my skirts and travel the world. Here we
That's
go.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm down. Mayflower Society, I don't care, but we might be Roma, and that just got me really thrilled.
That's cool. That's very cool.
So, even though it may, maybe just a small, little touch of the bloodline, because that's a very dilute anyway.
Yes.
If people leave where they started and travel around the world and bring other people into it.
Yes.
You know, the DNA might be very, very thin, but the idea is very thrilling.
That's great.
And yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go pedal to the metal.
Good.
Corporate America has not served me.
Yay.
And I say, you know, I've got that 6 months cover suite, you know, because that means I won't have to worry about my insurance for a while.
Good.
But then, hey, I'm only 5 years away from an early retirement age anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can continue to live cheaply, I'm not going to be, you know.
Yes.
That won't hurt my feelings at all. And yeah, very exciting, and so much appreciate the support of the table. And sorry, I bumped my camera.
No, that's okay.
But yeah, it's exciting. It is scary, and I cried off and on all day Tuesday, just you know, because I've bonded. I've been here 8 years, literally 8 years. I got, you know, my coworkers were like my family, and we're all kind of in shock. Everybody's kind of like on the, you know, we're checking in because we're paid till June 8th, and we want to make sure we cover all our paperwork. So we have you know, our work communication talk with the manager, and but the entire awesome tier 1 staff is gone. And
wow.
So you know, and I can't explain that without going off into some kind of conspiracy theory about corporate America, and I have plenty of those. But you know, yeah, maybe it was just the boost I needed. I should have done this independently 6 months ago. I should have just decided that I'd had enough and then done it. But that's okay. The universe has funny ways of pushing you in the direction you need to go.
It does. Well, 3 cheers. Yay! 3 cheers. Excellent.
And I got your book.
Thanks.
So I'm going to get a copy of your book for my friend as well, so she and her son can go through it.
Great.
And we're just going to green ourselves all the way into infamy.
Thank you.
Good
Thanks
for
a lot.
you.
That's
Yeah.
great. 3 cheers. So, Adam, is there another Mr. Sci-Fi question?
Yes, we actually have a Bob Rich question.
Okay, go for it. Hi, Bob.
And he says, what are some great movies for kids that adults can also enjoy?
Oh, wow.
Including animation and live action, any genre.
Whew. Invaders from Mars. Invaders from Mars is great. It's the original version of that. Any of the Ray Harryhausen movies, you know, Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, etc. Jason and the Argonauts.
There's something that a friend of mine who had children said every adults and kids like to watch together, which is the old film The Rookie.
The Rookie. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That seems to be. They
sure.
will watch it over and over for some
Sure.
reason. So.
And then I mean, there's just tons of stuff. Let's see. The films of Carl Zeman are a lot of fun. He's a stop motion animator from the Eastern Bloc. Particularly Journey to the Beginning of Time, which is about kids going back in time and seeing woolly mammoths and dinosaurs and so forth. Let me think. Animation. You know, there are the obvious things like Up and so forth. But what else?
I'll
George.
toss in one of my favorites, The 5,000 Fingers of
Yes.
Dr. T.
Oh,
Yes.
I love that movie.
And films by George Pal, Circus of Dr. Lau, and many others. You know, When Worlds Collide, War of the Worlds. You know, all that stuff. There's that's some of it off the top of my head.
I like Mary Poppins. He does not. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like elements of it, but God, I don't need to see it ever again. So, okay, cool. Yay. 3 cheers. So now I see David Bartlett on the screen. If you want to tell everyone what you're up to and what you need.
Sure. David Bartlett, I'm a filmmaker, a teacher, and a human rights activist, and a producer of Space Command.
Yay.
Space Command is going to be told more details, I'm sure, by Mark, but we are right around the corner from a screening of 2 hours.
Yay.
That's kind of hard to believe, despite the questionable misgivings of Mr. Edison. It is going to happen on the 27th, or I'm going to eat my head. So there is that.
Okay, I hope you're right.
Yeah, well, it won't get there without you, so you're going to help make it right.
Well, hey, I'll do everything I can, but you know me, the voice of reality.
Yeah. Okay.
The
yes.
Delta cat is more like it.
But anyway.
If you
So,
really believed in
I am,
reality, if you
um,
really believed in reality, Dave, you would not be an editor.
Mm.
It's your job to make everything fake.
Well, make everything wonderful.
Yeah, make everything.
It's a magic
wonderful.
trick.
Fix,
It's
fix,
a
fix.
magic trick. But okay, go ahead, David, please.
Right. So that's on my mind a lot. I have. Let me see if I got anything new. I was in a parade. I
Yay!
went to Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, which is a real place.
Of course.
It was named because the local lore is it was named because the mayor liked the movie, the TV show so much he opted to rename the town.
Huh.
But the truth is that the creator of the show came to the town and said, "Why don't you guys change your name and I'll pay you?" So they did. They helped promote the show. So
Great.
anyway,
Great.
I got to see Spaceport from the outside,
Wow.
and I got to see a very large reservoir that was very empty, and a dam that was really cool to look at. They said the spillway is when the dam gets so full it has to overflow, and the spillway had not been used since 1990.
Wow.
So that's really telling. Anyway, I also got to drive with someone out the spaceport through the Badlands, which is this enormously long, flat place in New Mexico that goes up against the mountains where Billy the Kid and Pat Garrett and all that. And Walter White from Breaking Bad was there too. So there are huge winds blowing across the plains. And she said, yes, the winds blow so hard sometimes that the cars will be threatened and the police will shut down the traffic and wait.
Wow.
So that was interesting. She said that the wind blows from the west to the east because Arizona blows and Texas sucks. I thought that was some funny little New Mexico joke. I also saw the Trail of Tears, where the Native Americans rode on their horses to their last stand, and after being defeated, into the reservations. And also, they had their own little moment in time on the same area, a trip that was called the what was the name of that trip for the conquistadors? The Death March.
Yes.
Death March was because the conquistadors were there to conquer everyone and find the 7 cities of lost cities of gold. So the Indians were like, "Oh, hey, we know where it is. Go to the river and turn left," which they did. And 3 weeks later, they all died of dehydration in the desert because they were told to go to where they would never survive. And the woman I was with had her uncle, I think, had actually found a conquistador steel helmet in the desert.
Wow.
So that was my trip to New Mexico.
Well, that's great. Wow, how wonderful.
The film.
Cool.
And we screened it in the theater. It was the first time they had screened a film in that theater in 3 years.
Wow.
First time they had their large fiesta in the town since COVID, and the first time they had their parade. And it's a town of like, I don't know, maybe it's 2,000 people. And both of the one streets that go through were lined with people the whole way. And it's lots of fun for them and for us too. It was good. I got completely sunburned all over my face and arms because I'm a really white guy and not used to that kind of sun, even though I live in LA. So anyway, enough of that.
That's great.
Let's see. We are doing, on the human rights front, I can show you. Oh, I got to teach something recently. I was teaching. I have an apprentice cinematographer, which is lots of fun.
Right.
She's really talented and she's super excited. So that's a lot of fun too. And she's going to be coming here to work with me, which will be also exciting. And I'm going to show you some stuff. I don't know how easily you guys can see this, but this is my membership card to the Nigerian Human Rights Society of YELI, which stands for, what does it stand for? Youth Education and Leadership Initiative. I am an accredited member of YELI, an award-winning member of YELI, and I am officially HE Ambassador Dr. David Bartlett.
Yay! Oh wow!
With the university there locally, so you can all call me Dr. Bartlett now. I won't be operating on anybody in the near future, but I do have that going for me. Mark always leaves when I talk.
No.
So,
I'm back. I'm
there you go.
listening.
There is that. Now, as far as the table goes, the table email, Mark, I showed him my certificate of being proclaimed a doctor.
Wow, that's great. That's great. So
You
if
can see it now too.
yeah, if anyone has appendicitis, they'll know where to go.
Yeah, they'll know where not to go. My place.
Yep.
Table email. If you want to get on the table email, you can contact me. If you have troubles on the table email, you can also contact me. My email is in the address bar there and the chats. And we have, let's see, about 2,000 members, and it's all over the world. And you can interact and network with other members and trade things with them and get all kinds of fun stuff going on. The table is a very powerful tool, not just because we all hang out here together, but the email. And I've gotten people hooked up with each other and helped me, and I've helped them many times, and it's very, very useful.
Mhm.
So anyway, I guess that's about it for that. And that's it for me.
Okay, yay! 3 cheers, David. So, Adam, is there another Mr. Sci-Fi question?
Yes. Let me post this real quick.
Sure.
There we go. That's not it. Go way back here. There it is. Gregory Krug
Hi, Greg.
says, any thoughts on the Swedish anthology show 13 Demon Streets?
Wow, I've never heard of it. So I should check that out. It sounds interesting.
Well,
yeah.
we can go to another question then.
Sure, you bet.
Let's go to a Scott Baker question.
You bet.
Did you notice the same level of homage garage in episode 1 of Strange New Worlds as they had in Picard? There's even an officer named Laan, like Don from Earth Final Conflict.
I wasn't paying that close attention to all that stuff. I think the main thing I'm paying attention to is it a good show? Do the stories, are they emotionally moving? Are the characters engaging? You know, it's sort of like, you know, I mean, there are more and more Easter eggs, but I think that's a trap you can fall into if you're not careful, where they overwhelm the important stuff. And, you know, so one has to be careful. But yeah, I knew there was a lot of that kind of stuff. And, you know, sometimes it's okay. And sometimes it's like, okay, get back to what you're supposed to be doing. So, so there you are. So, Joseph Peters, I see you're next on my screen. You wanna go for it? Oh, you have to unmute.
Yeah, I've been kind of gone. I see Thane and Carol. I've been, I want to say hi to them. They're from Sandra Lord's group.
Uh-huh.
And I've been doing this thing called working on the weekends, so which is why they haven't seen me in over 3 months.
Wow.
Actually, I discovered this wonderful thing called Grubhub,
Uh-huh.
which allows me to work as much as I want or as little as I want, whatever hours I want. I don't know what other employer allows you to do that. There's very few. And it's great. I worked about every single day, pretty much about 4 hours a day. And so I make enough money. I was working part-time at Enterprise for 5 years. I make between $100 and $150 more per week.
Wow.
Doing this than working. And I was driving 250 to 300 miles a day with Enterprise.
Wow.
And this I'm kind of like local.
Mhm.
And you know, so it's working out great because I get up very early in the morning. You know, I check my emails. I have emails from Europe and from other places.
Mm-hmm.
Work out. You know, have breakfast, get ready, and then I don't have to leave till about 10 in the morning, and then I work in the afternoon when I get back.
Wow.
So, but anyway, so that is a good thing to work and to have money,
Yes.
pay bills, and I'm paying off a lot of the credit card bills. What I've been working on, I have a project. This is very interesting. I've been going to the film festivals online for the past since 2020. I went to the very first cons. That was the very first online, and I'm currently attending the one this year. So that's 3 years in a row. Went to European Film Market, 2 years, and I'll be doing it next year as well. Focus, which is from the UK, that's free. Also, I've gone to Fintan Sur in Buenos Aires twice. So all of these things, what happened, I was like, he's sending emails out and interacting and networking. And I just been so busy that I haven't really sent any emails out, and people are actually emailing me. So I actually from the European film market, at the end, they had this great thing called speed networking. It was only 3 minutes, and I met some fascinating people. There's like 2 of the people I'm in contact with, but the one is a producer from Germany, and he was interested. He said, "Do you have any projects that can be shot in Europe?" I said, "Yeah." And I sent him 2, and he really loved the sci-fi noir thriller that I had. And so he is. We'll be getting after cons. We'll probably get back in touch sometime in June.
Great.
And then this just happened out of the blue. A couple weeks ago, a producer from Spain, who I've been linked in with for like 7 years, emailed me and looked at my work, my film work, and then looked at my projects. I had 8 now projects, completed scripts, completed storyboards, pitch decks, budgets, everything.
Wow.
And so he wanted to work with me. And so I talked to my co-producer, and last Thursday, a week ago, we had our first Google Meet online. Very nice man, and he's going to submit my project called Blood in the Streets as a romantic crime thriller to the entities there in Spain. They have subsidies program. And then he'll do a second pathway, which he has close contacts with the television networks there. And so somehow, some way, he says, I'm going to get the funding. It's a 2.5 million, which over there in Europe is a lot of money.
Yeah.
And he said, actually, it's just an average budget. So you'll be able to do a lot. We have stunts and
wow.
Really good characters. And I have international casts, all letters of intention.
Wow.
So that's what I've been busy doing. And so that's about it.
Wow.
But,
busy.
So I just wanted, I know Thane's there, so just say hi to Sandra and just let her know that I've been working and that sometime off in the future, because Saturdays and Sundays are very busy, and that is prime time. Last Saturday, I did 8 deliveries.
Wow.
That was like over $80. My check that I get every Thursday, I almost cracked $400 per week.
Wow.
So
that's great.
Anyway, and they do pay you for your like a payment adjustment that covers the gas.
Wow.
And I was hearing online that they're going to probably increase that because we're looking.
Yes.
They're saying in July with the gas tax, we may crack $7 a gallon.
Yes.
Here.
Yeah.
So it's kind of back to the 70s, kind of back to the future.
Yes. God.
And I remember some of the young people I used to in their 20s were riding along when I was working at Enterprise, and I told them about odd and even license plates and about the gas lines, and they didn't know anything about that. I said, "Did you read that in the history books?" They said, "No, we didn't. We never learned that." I said, "Okay, well, you're learning from me," and they thought I was nuts. Now I'm still in touch with them. They go, "Boy, Joseph, boy, it's come back." And I said, "Yes, it has." So anyway, so maybe I'll put that in a film someday. We'll do a sci-fi thing, whatever.
Jeez.
But and I'm happy to see you guys. I've been a member of the table since 1999. Wow. So it's taken a long time, but I've never given up.
No.
And that's what you have to do. And I guess it was several years ago, a producer who had looked at my stuff said, "Joseph, you are ahead of the curve, and just keep at it. And at some point, that clock is going to come around, and you're going to be in sync with what's going on." So over the last couple of years, Latin Hispanic projects, and they've always had that kind of difficulty because it's Spanish language or the Portuguese, which is a little bit different. So my thing is, I put it on LinkedIn, Netflix, is now going to be dubbing all of their movies in 10 different languages.
Wow.
Japanese, Korean, Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, French, German. And this is kind of the wave of the future, what Netflix is doing. Instead of thinking US or international, it's just global. You make a product and you dub it in all the languages. And on my LinkedIn that I put today, there's a company called deepdub.ai. If you want to jot that down, deepdub. Ophir, I can't pronounce his last name, but they operate out of Israel. And basically, if you and I this is a movie, they could hit a button and now we're speaking Italian, Japanese, but in our own vocal tonality.
Wow.
So it's amazing what technology is doing. And so, and they'll do it instead of usually to dub with regular actors, 100,000 a picture, a film, a dub, I should say. And now with the deep dub, it's like 9,000 per dub.
Wow.
So if you invest, you have that as part of your budget, you invest, just think how many different countries now, because some people don't want to read subtitles, but if it's dubbed and done correctly, people will tune in and look at that movie Squid and Money Heist there in Spain and all of these projects that Netflix does. They're doing gangbusters all over the world. So anyway, that's my little thing, and that's it.
Okay.
It was good to see you guys again, and hopefully, are we going to stay?
We're gonna
continue online even if we're in person, or no?
Well, we're gonna put out an email to see if people are ready to meet at Patty's restaurant, and we'll figure out some way of doing a Zoom component, but we haven't quite figured that out yet. But the first step is to see if people want to go in person. I think it's time.
And Patty's, what location is that? With
it's in it's like sort of Studio City-ish,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Toluca Lake would probably be the most accurate.
Yeah.
Toluca Lake is where we used to have. Gosh, it was across from. I don't know. It was near Bob's Big Boy or something like that.
Yes, it is. That's the same place.
Different management.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it used to be Patty's, and then was it something Moe's restaurant? Or?
No, it's no.
So Patty's, so across the street.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Yeah. See, that's very. I mean, even though I'm out here in San Dimas near West Covina, I mean, I can take the freeway and get there in a reasonable amount of time. Where you were before in Studio or Sherman Oaks, that was like, that was like going to Arizona or something. Not quite.
I understand.
But anyway, thanks so much. Well, hopefully we'll continue to keep, because I love, they do the survey for cons, and I told them, look, I'd love to come, but please keep it as a hybrid. And so EFM has done that. And I mean, now they're talking, I mean, there's now another outbreak or something coming. And there's also monkeypox. That's the latest I heard today on the news.
Jesus.
So I don't want to catch that, whatever it is. Anyway, but it was great seeing you all again. And if you do this Zoom again, and then just send the email out. I'll see if sometime in the future I can shoot on over to Patty.
Okay.
That would be nice.
Sounds great. Yay. Good to see you, Joseph. So, Adam, is there another Mr. Sci-Fi question?
Yes. We have another Bruce Moore question.
Oh, go for it.
And that is, he just watched Death's Head Revisited.
Yes. That's one of the good ones.
What was the star of that episode, and was it an original story or an adaptation?
It's an original by Serling, and Oscar Bergay plays the commandant of the concentration camp who goes back after the war, and the ghost is Joseph Schildkraut, the ghost of the concentration camp inmate. And Joseph Schildkraut was one of the great actors of his time. He played Anne Frank's father in The Diary of Anne Frank, the first film version of that. He was in many, 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 many wonderful films, all going back all the way to The Silence. And he's in that episode, and he's also in Of the Twilight Zone and in The Trade-Ins, another great episode. So he's just a phenomenal actor, and that's a terrific piece of writing. It's so I mean, it really nails down the whole dreadfulness of the Holocaust. So a lot of people don't know Serling was Jewish, and so he felt that the Holocaust very, very strongly, and and of course he was fighting in the Japanese theater of war in World War II, not in Europe. But yeah, it's a wonderful piece of work. So let's see. So Thane, you're next on my screen. Go for it.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
Another lovely day, productive day in Pasadena.
Yes.
When that show is starting to come together and feel
Great.
like we really do have something that will at least entertain people and maybe bring me fame and fortune, right?
Great. Yes.
Like everything else.
Yes.
You never know. So it's been kind of quiet on the audition front. Don't know whether people are slowing down because they think we're back in COVID times, or quite what's going on. It just seems like there's so much chaos at the industry level.
Yes.
All these mergers and then pulling pieces off and selling it and trading, two guys for one guy and people moving around and so on. It seems like production is sort of waiting for the true answer of who's up on top. So, so at any rate, just keep on going here.
Yeah.
And I've been working with Jessica Ben Johnson on my show. Had a couple of private sessions with her. I got one more scheduled next week. And then we're going to do a table read on July 20th. It'll be via Zoom, and people can tune in and give comments and encouragement, and looking forward to that.
Great. So anything else you need? Yeah, go ahead, Thane.
Just keep it on, and I keep gathering up materials that somehow will add to the prop needs of
Space Command.
Space Command.
Yes.
These days I got to make a run out to the studio, and we can sort it out and decide what to keep and what to but it's amazing the stuff that people throw away.
Yes.
And I would urge anyone who's building a studio or building sets or whatever, make friends with your local Home Depot guy.
Yes.
Because they throw away a dumpster load, one of those huge truckloads of stuff every week.
Wow.
From rebar to it gets bent, or somebody cuts it off and brings it back, and the 2x3s that are 4 feet long that they use to stack lumber with. Just tons of stuff that anybody with a creative mind and a little bit of energy can make do, and one, keep it out of the landfill, and two, really subsidize your budget. So I've many times picked through stuff at Home Depot and either made a deal for a truckload for $1 or just get it out of here and don't ask any questions.
That's great. So anything else for now, Thane?
That'll do.
Okay, 3 cheers. So is there another Mr. Sci-Fi question, Adam?
Yes, our next question is from Mark Lungo.
Hello, Mark. Happy birthday.
He says, what is the best way to create an iconic character like Kirk or Spock?
I think it's something you can try for but never be sure of or never really control, because it's lightning in a bottle. What you can do is create characters that are interesting, that are fresh, that have some truth to them, and then it's casting, and then it's the magic of actors' chemistry between each other. I mean, DeForest Kelley, Leonard Nimoy and William Shatner were just an amazing triumvirate, and but in terms of an iconic character, I mean, it's funny because sometimes people come up with stuff that clicks. Like Tarzan, for instance. Tarzan was not original by any means in terms of, they'd done Mowgli before. He was raised, in the Jungle Book and so forth, but somehow Tarzan clicked. And, the same with many, many iconic characters. Sherlock Holmes. I mean, Sherlock Holmes is great, but why him and not all the other detectives of that era? So, it's, you just try. And if you're lucky, it works. It happens. So
the basil wrap, that's why.
Yes. But the thing is that, particularly in television, there's such an enormous amount of talent and so many just brilliant actors. But every actor, who's on their game, they wait for that role that's going to click. and like Bob Picardo got to play the holographic doctor in Star Trek Voyager, and that, he'd been in a lot of stuff before that, but that was the thing that really put him on the map in a certain way. And then of course he went on to Stargate and all the other things, including Space Command. But all you can do is do your best. So okay, so I'm gonna go walk the dog while Elaine continues the table. I will be right back and we will continue. But go for it, Elaine.
Okay,
So what's
Carol.
the next one? Yeah. Okay, Rudy, you want to go for a walk?
There.
You want to go for a walk?
So Elaine, this is one of the few places I can go where I can really relax and be stimulated.
Yay,
You're doing a great service. This is for Joseph. I was in a movie that went to Cannes, and I still have my T-shirt. Yay! It's going on right now. Yes, we know. All right, so a couple things. I was in a stage reading a couple weeks ago, and this girl called me and said, "Please be in line." She saw me in it. And I hardballed them. I said, but I want a contract that if it goes, I go with it. She said, well, we've got Minnie Driver. So they never called me back because I hardballed them. So I don't know. But someone else saw me in it. I don't know. And she sent me a script today.
Oh, wow. Great.
And for next week. So this is very nice. Like, I'm excited to do that. Also, does anybody have any idea why my printer printed like this? There's no letters and there's no colors and there's no picture.
Huh.
If you have any idea, can you let me know? Because it is, you can see this. You can see this. That's me. That's me. And I am the performer of the month for Apoco Publications, again, in Australia.
Yeah.
And this is the producer in Amsterdam, speaking Joseph, internationally, who's taking some of my stuff as a writer to Cannes this week. So I can't believe all this stuff is going on. I'm just sitting here not going to auditions, and it's like whatever I can do. I feel like, you know what it is? If I can help a project look good, that's good. That's good. That's all I want. That's all they want. So maybe that energy is coming in,
And does anyone know about printers, broken printers?
Anybody know about print? Because I've been printing fine. I wonder if it's from the other end. They won't let you print what I just took out on the phone. I don't know if anybody can figure that out or whatever.
Exactly, that's supposed to go in that black spot.
What it's if you can see it, that it's this. Whoops. Yeah, it's this. So it's from a publication in Australia. And there's me, the lower side there.
Huh.
Yeah, and it's coming out like this. Whoops.
It might be blocking. It might be blocking it because, like, if you try to take a picture of something that's playing on Netflix, you'll get a black screen like that too because there's ways of blocking.
Oh, so they're blocking it on their end.
Well, I would suggest you try something first.
Okay.
That is when it's on the screen on your computer, do a screenshot and see if you can print it a picture of the screenshot. If you can't, then most likely they're blocking it on their end.
For those of us who know how to do screenshots.
What are you on, a Mac?
Yeah.
It's Alt-Shift-4, and your cursor will turn into a little X, and then you drag it across the screen, and it'll take a picture of whatever you.
Okay. Thank you.
If you have problems, you got my phone number. You can call me.
That's very nice. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I have two questions.
Or Command Shift 3 if you want to grab the entire screen instead of 4.
How do you guys know all this? Okay, don't answer that. Okay, thank you.
It just gathers like lint.
I just call Dave Edison. He gives me all my answers.
What do you, these phones glued to you? How do you, whatever. Okay, I'm like, blows me away. How much did you pay to enter one of these writing contests? That's not part of my métier, but how much, when does it start getting excessive? Is there a cutoff? Like $25 is fine, $75 is crazy.
Well, it depends on the contest.
Does it?
Yeah, and it depends on what kind of public spread it has and whether or not you believe in their results. Because sometimes I've seen contests where you enter them, and then you see the winners, and the winners are like, "Who is judging this?" So try and check and see, because what you want from a contest is a little bit of pizzazz, press, right? But if you've never heard of them, and if they don't have any press or reach, and you then it's probably not worth a lot. If they get a lot of press and reach, then you have to sort of judge, are they reaching the audiences or the the industry people that you want your stuff to be, that you want made aware of, those people want aware of. So it depends on the contest. Some are not worth anything, and some do give you a bit of
Well,
clout.
that's helpful because I don't know that whole landscape. That's really helpful.
Sure.
Thank you. One other quick question, if I may. When you're writing a Bible for an animated series, does there still have to be a character arc like with the episodes, or not even? Because sometimes when I watch cartoons, I don't see character development. I just see them going through whatever they're going through. Do you know what I mean?
Well, the more you can engage the buyer in, the more you can hook them, the better. And so just for the sense of the sale, I would have something a little bit compelling, something that the character really wants. I know some of it gets pretty flippant, but the thing about a buyer, think about respecting your audience and whatever age you're aiming for. And if you want to have something to say, that just helps you engage people.
That's great. Got it. Okay. That's all, folks.
That's all. Okay. Yay. Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
Yay. Okay. So Mark should be back soon to take up Mr. Sci-Fi. He's walking one of our terriers, which is pretty much relentless, as Judith is going to learn. So let us move on for now to Dawn. Yay.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hi, Elaine.
Hi.
Got an active week. I'm just finished a self-tape, so I'm glad I got that out of the way. And then I have another audition coming up on Sunday so I'm working on that. And I want to, if anybody knows anything about broadcasting on Facebook, and I want to do a donation-based one-man show. I have for oral surgery. It's about $10,000 worth of work that I'm doing. But I need to raise the money for it, and I thought of the idea of presenting some work on, in a format. Combined with my writing and some monologues, probably mostly Shakespeare. And so, so I'm just kind of spitballing here. Want to present it on, I guess the format would be Facebook, so that I can set up a way for people to donate.
Does anyone here know about that format or Patreon? Yes.
Yeah, you can do it through Facebook Live or even through YouTube. Well, maybe not so much YouTube. I think you have to be established for the whole super chat thing. But yeah, you can do it through Facebook, definitely. Basically, you can broadcast from Zoom to Facebook. It's one of the extra little things that you can do. Okay. I think you might have to have a paid Zoom account to do it, but
yeah, okay, yeah, how that works. Okay,
so you're saying pay for a month, do it, and then stop. Cancel
My idea was to film it and then just put it on Facebook. But you say you do that
with Zoom, you can do that simultaneously. You just open up a Zoom with just yourself, and then you can record it and broadcast live to Facebook.
Oh, okay. Yeah. How's the quality?
It depends on your internet connection. It depends on your computer, your processor.
Sure. Okay, yeah, I can look into it. Okay, yeah. I just didn't realize that was the. Thank you.
Yeah.
And let's see. Well, I guess that's pretty much it.
Congratulations on all the good reviews, by the way.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, that was very kind of out of left field, really. I mean, I didn't know anything about it. Some people had well, some of the producers after the screening had come up to me and said, you got these reviews, this, that, and the other thing, and so they go, oh, okay,
That's great.
Yeah, so it was very nice. Thank you.
He was a standout in, I guess, a non-standout movie, but it sounds like you were the guy who was everybody's eye went to.
What's that? I'm sorry?
It sounded like you were the big standout in maybe a less than standout movie.
Yeah, I mean, it was I like one of the descriptions said in a fleeting role or fleeting, because it was not a big part, but it was a part. And it was in throughout the movie. I'm not throughout the movie, but enough. I had 4 scenes, and but at least the star of the movie did get good reviews for her. Movie got mixed, just like all movies, I guess. Can't please all the people all the time, especially horror movies. They always, they always put themselves out there to be subjected to some kind of, thrashing. But yeah, it was great.
Okay, well, great. And does anybody know anything about Patreon in terms of getting money for medical expenses for a performer?
Patreon is more of a monthly thing. It's not like a one-time lump sum. Now, for a one-time medical thing, you might want to go for something like GoFundMe or something like that.
Like what? I'm sorry?
GoFundMe.
Oh, yeah.
You set up a GoFundMe, and then you could advertise that during your Facebook Live.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, I see that. Okay, that would be good. Yeah, okay, so that would be a way to do it too. Okay,
using a little humor.
Here's the link,
Yeah.
And at least using a little humor, as you're an actor who needs their teeth. And of course, a lot of people are aware of the lack of dental coverage. And,
Yeah, I guess that would be a good advertisement for that.
Yes. Well,
yeah, it's just a condition that is sort of hereditary, and the maxillofacial specialist that I had put my implants in my lowers many years ago said that if I don't get this work done, that I'll lose all my teeth. And I lost 3 this year, 2 extractions and 1 just because the bone is reducing around, my teeth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And but these are great ideas. I was just kind of trying to figure out how to do all of that, and very helpful. And
Don, a couple of things. I don't know what your income situation is, but check with Covered California. They do have a dental plan, and you might qualify. Be surprised.
Yeah, I can check it. The unfortunate part of my situation is that because I need implants, nobody covers implants. They consider it cosmetic, and it's not a cosmetic situation because I'm getting them in the back. But I will check that out, and I'm glad you mentioned that so that I can. And then then also the avenue of looking for a grant.
Yeah. Well, the doctor may be able to make an argument that, as you just said, if you don't get this taken care of, you're going to lose some more teeth.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm glad you mentioned that. Thank you. Because that was
teeth are a funny thing in the healthcare system, and it's crazy. The other thing, one way to improve your Zoom filming is a better camera. And I don't know what kind of camera you have, but I have a Canon 7D, and Canon offers for free an app for your computer that will turn your DSLR into a webcam, and you can get much better quality into your Zoom feed that then results in better quality pictures going out on your, and you can record it. Whatever goes out is kind of dependent on the wire and the quality of the internet service. But what gets recorded on your computer will be at the quality that comes in through the camera there. So I might want to check that out and see what options we got.
Right, because my idea was to shoot it live in a theater, and so instead of having to do, because to get the kind of money that I need, I mean, I would need to have to do, 150 shows, at, whatever, at, different locations, and I just was able to do one performance, and I can invite all my friends, and then just get it done, and then broadcast it. So. With that, so taking a film or a digital film and broadcasting it on Facebook or Zoom to Facebook, that would all that work with that in that format?
Should.
I have to do it live on Zoom?
You can do a share screen on Zoom and then bring up the video.
Oh, okay, I got you. Right, I got you. Okay. Well, thanks a lot. I won't take any more time. I'll be working it all out. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Okay. Yay. Well, welcome back. Hey. Okay, so we're still waiting for Mark to get back with Two Fuzzy Dogs, so he'll play catch up.
I should mention that I do have to leave at 7:00. So.
Okay.
Wherever we're at, David Bartlett will
thank you, David.
take over for me
great.
at that time.
Okay, yay. Okay, Mark, I think it's you.
Okay, so before I get started, I think we should give the name of the movie that Don was talking about that got the good reviews in case people want to go see it.
Oh, the name of your movie.
The movie.
Oh, what movie is it? Yeah, it's Monstrous, and then I think today is the last day at the NoHo, at the Lemley NoHo 7. They'll just run it for 1 week as they do all their movies there. But it is on Amazon Prime, and it is on Apple.
Okay, great.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so I went and saw the movie.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
On that Friday night, and it was really weird because. Your little screen your little picture on my screen. So as I'm looking around for somebody who looked familiar, I didn't actually run into you, but I ironically ran into some filmmakers that I met in Utah, who also were having their film screen that night because there was a festival going on that night. There, and they did a movie called. Oh my God, I'm gonna blank on the name of it. It's like Malibu Horror Story, which has got distribution and everything. So I got to reacquaint myself with these filmmakers. And I will tell you this, I'll be real interested to see how this movie does streaming wise, because it's not a movie like what we're used to getting today. It's more of like a ghost story from the 70s and 80s. Made me very much want to immediately go out and watch a movie called Lady in White for some reason. So I liked it. I thought it was a good movie. It's just audiences today, they want blood, they want guts, they want no character development, they want all that garbage. And this movie was more of a, so people should check it out. It's more of a slow burn with characters and a story. And if you like those kind of ghost stories from the 70s and 80s, it was really enjoyable. I'm just not sure audiences today are going to buy it. I think it's going to go for an older audience, but I think if they do, they'll enjoy it. So that was my take on it. I really liked it. And like I said, I maybe want to see this movie called Lady in White with Lucas Haas and Catherine Hellman, which I really like because it kind of had this totally different movies, but same kind of tone.
Yeah, more of a psychological drama. And I think that's a good assessment.
Yeah. And I read some of the reviews which said that they kind of, everybody kind of knew where it was going, but I think there is a surprise at the end, and I think it's more about the journey than any kind of
Okay.
Yeah.
So people should check. I recommend people check it out if they want to have a good time, and it's relatively short. So
Cool.
Yeah. I think what makes it interesting right now is because of Ms. Ritchie having success on Yellow Jackets, which I think she's the best one in it. It's an interesting program, and they're all good. It just sort of, the timing came at the same time, and so people that want to see her, this would be a good movie because she obviously is 99% in the movie.
Great.
I mean, 99% of the movie.
They could have pushed it a little bit harder, but they don't seem to be pushing movies that hard these days. You never see commercials for them and everything. So,
extremely low budget, and nobody's.
It worked for a low budget, and I mean, I don't want to give anything away. I liked it. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
But people do need to be aware they're not going to go and see a horror movie like what they're putting out today, which is kind of a good thing. It is very reminiscent of ghost stories from the 70s and 80s. So if they like those, I recommend it.
Cool.
So anyway, as for me, I thought this was going to be a slow week in the editing world because met a lot of deadlines last week and got a lot of things out. But then I guess people found out that I was going to be slowing down this week, and my phone's just been off the. Oh, can you do this for me tomorrow? And can you get me this? So it's actually, I haven't had the relaxation week that I thought I was going to have. But once again, as I always say, don't complain when you're busy because you don't know when it's going to die down completely.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah, I've been kind of off the wall, busy. I've also been trying to catch up on some stuff. I'm trying to catch up on my website, which unfortunately went to the sidelines. I have somebody who wants me on their podcast, so that's going to be interesting. We're going to do a whole episode discussing the work of Peter Weir. Who's ultimately my favorite filmmaker, so and probably most responsible for me wanting to get into this crazy business. And about 2 weeks, I'm going to be slamming again because the show that had the deadline that was last week that really had me up all night is now hiring me back to another deadline. So,
cool.
Yay for me. Other than that, I am gonna I'm gonna try to see a couple of movies over the next couple of weeks. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like anything's coming out outside of Top Gun, which I really want to see.
Downton Abbey.
They're saying really good things about. So RogerEbert.com gave it perfect score. So
yeah, but he's dead.
That's kind of it. It's just kind of getting through my days and trying to figure out my future because I'm also reevaluating my life because I want to get my feature done. Last night I was talking to a writer. She's a filmmaker that I worked for multiple times as an editor. She's a really good writer. She wants to write my feature for me under my conditions. And I told her what I could afford and what we would have to do. And so now I got to figure out how to schedule my life and my work so that I can get that done, because that has got to be first priority with my website from this point on. And so it's just been a lot of confusion in my head as I try to figure all this out.
Okay, well, I mean, the only person who's going to make that happen is you in terms of deadlines and time and carving out time and so forth. So then, but having someone else working with you helps enormously. You can set meetings, you can set deadlines, all sorts of stuff. So
and somebody I have a work relationship with. I've won four editing awards on films I've done with her.
That's great.
And although it's generally me working for her. And I just got to figure it out. So I've been trying to sit down with myself and say, okay, what's actually been getting in the way of getting this stuff done? And it's a lot of taking too many jobs, maybe doing too many favors. Not that I don't want to do favors, but those favors are actually taking up the time I need for my own thing.
Yes.
And going through and analyzing, okay, what can I get rid of to fill with the time in order to get these two projects taken care of? And, I always write my own stuff, but I had to sit down with a writer friend of mine who's a really good writer, and he was very blunt with me. He's like, Mark, you got good ideas. You can find the problems in everybody else's stuff, and you can write a really good first draft. Then you need to hire an actual writer to take it to the finish line. And I remember the Splash DVD has a really interesting audio commentary with the producer Brian Grazier,
Mhm.
who talked about this exact same thing. He wrote a script called Splash, and he realized he was not a writer, so he went and hired writers to do it.
Mhm.
He was a producer, and so I'm kind of like, well, I don't have the time to do it. Let's hire a writer. I
Great.
hate being in the room by myself anyway, writing. And here's somebody who I got a great working relationship with for 4 years now. So
sounds
I got a
perfect.
producer who I've got a 15-year relationship ready to go on board as soon as we get the script done. So
Cool.
let's keep our fingers crossed.
Okay. Well, good luck. Anything else, Mark?
No, that's it.
Okay.
That's just, now I'm just rambling.
Okay. 3 cheers. Yay.
Adam, is he 2 or 3 behind on Mr. Sci-Fi?
Right. I think we're about 3.
Okay. Well, go for it.
Let's start with Regulus 000.
Okay.
Who says, what fraction of your industry wisdom were you able to pack into greenlighting yourself? 30%, 50%, 90%?
It's not 90%. I think it's a really good beginning. So, it's hard for me to say how much, of my wisdom I packed into anything, even including this conversation. So, I'd say maybe 31.97. I don't know. But it's but the fun part is that it gave me a place to put a lot of instructive stories that people had given me, like Ray Bradbury and Guillermo del Toro and so forth. And fortunately, Guillermo and J.J. Abrams and all these other people, Damon Lindelof and so forth, I asked them if I could use those stories because they'd been told to me basically one-on-one. And they very graciously said yes. And so I think there's a lot. I know there's a lot that I've applied in my career that's been invaluable, and I hope people will benefit from it as well. I think they will. So, okay, second question, Adam.
And then that reminds me, in the commentary, there's a Robert Picardo moment that I want to ask you about.
Sure.
Next time we talk.
Okay, you bet. Go for it.
And next we have a Scott Baker question.
Hello, Scott.
Can you share any personal history of your own which figured into your writing for the Babylon 5 episode Survivors?
Not a lot, because that was Joe wanted to do one where Garibaldi fell off the wagon, and without his badge of authority, so to speak, he was, open prey for everybody on the station who had a grudge for him. So that was not my idea initially, but then it was basically coming up with other characters and other situations that were of interest to me, and writing it as truthfully as I could. The fun part, I really enjoyed writing for Jakar and Londo. I had a scene with them, and they were, those two actors together were just magical. And so I'm really glad I got to do that. I'm really glad I got to go on the set and get myself photographed with everybody. That was a wonderful experience. So let's see. And is there a third question, Adam? And then we can move on to, is it your turn, Elaine?
Yes,
Elaine, yay.
We have Kevin Scott 76. Both for Mark and Elaine.
Sure.
Have you guys ever read a book partway through and it was so bad you threw it in the trash so no one else would be subjected to it?
Did you, Elaine? Well, the nurse novel,
Oh, well, I should know what to do with it.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever thrown out a book.
Yes.
I would donate it, to a library or something.
Yeah.
It's just because I didn't like it. I just
Right.
have a lot of respect for the written word.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I can't throw out books. There's just something about, you have to find a way to pass it on to somebody else. So, there are books that I've started reading and it was like, this isn't really going anywhere, and stopped. I can't remember any off the top of my head because they were forgettable. But yeah, even Elaine recently read the Lost Weekend, which is a very good book, and the movie was very good too. But she wasn't going to ever read it again. So there are these little kiosks set up at various points in the city where people are welcome to take a book and replace it with another book, or read that book and bring it back. They're kind of little on your honor lending libraries. And so we found one next to a restaurant that we regularly go to and put it there. And when we went back to the restaurant last time, it was gone. So hopefully someone was enjoying it. So there you go. So okay, great. Now it's your turn, Elaine. Go for it, Elaine. Elaine.
Okay. Just plowing along. We're juggling multiple projects
Yes.
and trying to get money for Voiceless Roar. Hello, Don. He's got a large part in Voiceless Roar.
Yes.
And so we're trying to get the money for that. And beyond that, we're plunging ahead with Space Command.
Mm-hmm.
And putting together sets, and it's and I'm so glad we got away for a few weeks because
Yes.
we've come back exhausted but semi-refreshed, and we're just plunging ahead. So
Yeah.
I guess juggling editing, first pass editing. I don't actually edit, but first pencil pass edit, and writing fresh material.
Mhm.
And the grand thing about having this larger arc is that we both agree that we're trying to make stories that reflect powerfully on the current world. And so we have a big space battle one that we're just about to do a rewrite on, which is about the
Futility of war.
The futility of war, not not a big hero thing, but the futility of war.
Yes.
So that's very satisfying for an old lefty. So
There you go.
yeah, so doing good.
Yay, 3 cheers.
And we're
So-
Bonnie.
Oh, Bonnie. Hi, Bonnie. You're just in time. Go for it.
Yay, hi.
Check in.
We just got back. Joel had prostate surgery, but he's today.
Wow, it doesn't get
doing
better.
Fine, doing good.
Wow, good. Give him our best.
Yeah. So we were there quite a few hours. Yeah, I'm working on this. Working on a song for the Society of Composers and Lyricists song Demic. So we are collaborating and be playing for music supervisors our pieces. So I'm working on
Great.
that and a couple of musicals. I know there's other stuff. I'm hungry, so I can't think.
That's
But,
fine.
Yeah, just doing a lot of things. Anybody needing music? Yeah.
Okay.
Give me a shout. Music's my thing.
Cool.
And anyway, yeah, thanks. Yeah, I see some people here I haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah. Wow.
Joseph. Okay, thanks. But let's ask you, when you went old lefty, are you left-handed, Elaine?
No, she means leftist. She's
I lean politically toward the left.
Ah, okay.
Okay, good. Yeah, exactly.
Sounds
So
good.
yeah,
I
and
noticed that was your license plate.
yes,
that's right.
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, you bet. And by the way, it's one of the books I picked up in England. This is back in the golden age of Hollywood in the 20s and 30s, particularly. Every movie would have a hardcover book come out, a novelization of that movie, no matter how inappropriate. And I found this in a bookstore in London. This is the novelization of The Singin' Fool, starring Al Jolson. So if you look at this, it's really fun. He's got Danny Boy, or Sonny Boy sitting on his lap, and then on the front page, it says somewhere in here, it says Vitagraph. Because this was a movie. Yeah, Al Jolson in The Singing Fool, a Vitagraph, a Warner Brothers Vitaphone talking picture. So this is 1929, and so this was quite a rarity to find. Really funny for those who are interested in music and schmaltz. And so there you go. But okay.
Oh, unfortunately, I'm sorry, Adam. We bounced from me right into
Bonnie
without
Mr. Sci-Fi.
Sci-Fi
Go for
question. So we owe 2, right?
It is getting really close to 7, so I'm gonna.
Well, we're almost done.
Oh, well,
Yeah, I can stay on for a little bit longer.
Sure.
Okay.
Great. Thanks.
Because I'm just switching over to another.
Consciousness.
Yeah, another Zoom call.
Okay.
So
Cool.
Let's do one more.
Sure.
Maybe 2 more questions.
Okay.
They're quick ones.
Sure.
Both from Bruce Moore.
Hello, Bruce.
First, a quick one. He wants to PayPal you for an autographed copy of Greenlighting Yourself.
You bet. So yeah. So absolutely.
I'll put your email in there.
Adam can make it happen. You bet.
Yeah, you can email for that to arrange that.
Great.
And also, he had a question for Elaine earlier, but I wasn't paying attention.
Okay.
So Elaine, where do your best ideas for stories come from?
Oh, from
and
me.
how do you know which stories are best to pursue?
My stories come from people around me, from situations around me, from
Mhm.
life,
Mhm.
my life and the lives of others. We travel a lot. We're always asking questions, talking to people.
Yes.
The thing that sticks with me is like if I come upon something that I find profoundly moving or important to me emotionally,
Yes.
I start thinking about it, and if it seems to have sufficient depth and ramification, and I can offer an insight into it, which I feel might be
Yeah.
of help or support, that I find as a story. Some things I find painful to watch, but I have no particular insight that could prove helpful.
Mhm.
And I don't need to just report something. Oh, there's this life is hard. Everyone knows life is hard. So if I can't say, oh my God, I went through that, or my friend went through that, and they found this exceptional way through, that becomes a story. But if it's
Yes.
something where I'm sort of at a loss at this point in my life, then I there's no point in having somebody sit through a bad time, in my view.
Mhm.
So, but my stories all come from a lot of people, and like one of my films, one of my more recent films is called Comfort, because a lot of people around me I was seeing had a great need of comfort, but had no ability to accept it, didn't know how to give it, and if it was offered, just didn't know how to incorporate it. So I thought comfort was a problem in our society, and I saw it all over the place.
Mm.
And it kind
Great
of
script.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't let people move on, and so I thought real comfort, I've seen really help move people on, and so it was sort of an advertisement for kindness.
Mm. Cool.
So that was a movie I wrote.
There you go. So okay, great. So I guess now it's my turn.
Yeah,
Yay, me, wonderful
yay.
me. So well, we had a wonderful trip in London and Wales, Hay-on-Wye, a bookstore town made up of bookstores, which was great. Now we are back in the thick of things. So we're in post-production on the first 2 hours of Space Command. We're very close to being done, and 1,800 visual effects shots, and getting the Blu-rays and the DVDs out. We're going to be having a red carpet premiere at the Chinese Theater in Hollywood, which should be great fun. That probably will be late June, but we'll let you know as soon as we have it locked down. Beyond that, we're actively shooting Hour 6 of Space Command now, so and doing visual effects shots and all sorts of stuff, and rewriting the one after that, so, and the one after that, and the one after that, and also starting to ramp up to shoot Sweet Haven, which is the pilot of the show we're creating with Rockney O'Bannon, who created Farscape and many other shows. And so it's a good time. It's busy time. Also, we're tomorrow I'm going to there's Content LA, which is a one-day seminar where the heads, the presidents of drama for all these major networks are going to be there. Netflix, Showtime, on and on and on. It's just a Paramount Plus. It's going to be an amazing time. So I'll be going there with Angelique and my coordinator, and also Michelle DaCosta, who's our development exec, and see if we can stir up some interest in what we're up to. So we shall see what we shall see. But I emailed my friend at Netflix to see if he's going to be there, or if he has some suggestions to how I can meet the president of Netflix. So and on we go. So life is certainly exciting, and I have no complaints other than barking dogs. And so we'll I think we've come to the end of our journey for tonight. But thank you all.
Could I ask a quick question?
Of course,
Sorry,
of course, Don.
Were you writing a new story, or was that part of you said the Ultimate Warrior? I'm sorry.
Was it something
about the war?
Oh yes, no. Here's how it works. Space Command. The first 12 hours of Space Command, the first season, are structured in 2-hour stories that then form a larger arcing story. So the first, and they split down the middle as 1 hour episodes. So the first 2 hours is Redemption, which we're almost done with now. Second 2 hour story was Ripple Effect, which was the one we did during the pandemic. Third 2 hour story is Forgiveness, which we shot the first hour of, and now we're shooting the second hour of. Then after that is a 2 hour story on Space Command, continuing the arc called Great Solar War. And so it's a Space Command story with Ethan McDowell and all of our regular cast, but it's set during a great space war in the future. And so,
There's
and it's an anti-war piece.
Yeah, there's a conflict.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
There's a major conflict, but
Right.
but,
And then the 2 hour story after that is Empire, which is the one Armin Shimmerman and Christina Moses are going to be in. And then the one after that is Harvester, which ends the first season, which culminates in the climax of that of the first year of the show. So that's the plan. And so yeah. And we're meeting with Michael Harney next week because he's one of the leads in Sweet Haven, which Dawn is in, and Dawn is also in Space Command, and just keeps showing up like mushrooms or something. And you know, but yeah, it's so things are moving ahead. And yeah, no complaints. I'm probably going to be flying to New York for a couple days to have lunch with my friend at Kickstarter, the VP I know at Kickstarter, because we're laying plans for the next campaign, which will be for the Showrunners Network, which is the slate of 6 series we are doing. And I'm also in contact with Brandon Sanderson's team, because he just did a Kickstarter campaign that raised $41 million, and so I want to talk to those guys in detail. So that's the main thing. So anything else anyone needs? I think we've covered some ground tonight, and congratulations to everyone who has been doing good deeds and work on the side of the devil and commercials and whatever.
Dear, I think Judith Smiley's gone. I'm afraid her puppies might have.
Her dogs ate her. No,
Her
I
dogs
think
ate
she's
her,
drifting in. I see her floating like a helium balloon.
Okay.
So yeah, she's probably fighting them off.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So there they are. They are very cute, and go with God. So okay, great. Well, I
just went to get something to eat. I'm starving.
well, yeah, that's what happens. You're expending.
By the way, guys, my movie comes out in August. I
Yay!
just found out.
What's the name of it?
Something with the devil.
Okay, great. Well,
Deal
that's
with the devil.
great. Cool.
Of the devil. That's the name of the devil.
Great.
The
Terrific.
devil.
We look forward to it. So great. So everyone have a great week. Stay safe, stay well, stay productive. We will be here next time, and we're as we said earlier, we're going to be meeting at Patty's very, very soon for the table, and but we'll continue all of this stuff as well. So thank you all, and we will talk again real soon. So take care, guys. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
And goodbye, my friends with Mr. Sci-Fi.